Hey guys, this is Sonic and Knuckles. Now I picked up this cartridge, oh geez, I don't know, sometime last year, and it wouldn't work for the life of it. I cleaned it, and I cleaned it, and I cleaned it again. Tried it in a couple different Genesis systems, Model 2s, Model 3s, wouldn't work. I went as far as I opened up the cartridge so that I could really see every contact, and I thoroughly cleaned every contact with the cartridge open, and it still didn't work. So I pretty much just assumed the cartridge was no good. Well, the other day, for no apparent reason, I stuck it in my Genesis just to try it. I don't know why I would think it would work. And lo and behold, it worked. I have no idea why it wouldn't work before, and suddenly it works now. But to celebrate, I'm going to show you this, guys. This game is really cool because it does something I don't think any other cartridge game's done. You'll notice on the top of the cartridge here that we've got a flap that opens up to reveal another cartridge slot. This game, harnessed with Sonic the Hedgehog 2 or 3, offers you a whole bunch of new features in those games, and in this game, and even with Sonic 1, there's a little hidden feature. So this is almost like I don't know, 4 games or something in one, you know, with all the extra stuff you can get. So let me show it. We'll start off first. Got my Genesis here with just the Sonic and Knuckles cartridge. And with just the Sonic and Knuckles cartridge, you'll get a whole game all on its own. So here we go, check it out. So here's Sonic and Knuckles, its own game, like I said. You can play between either Sonic or Knuckles, and it's all new levels, it's a whole new game, and it basically introduces you to Knuckles. Knuckles has a fairly different kind of gameplay than Sonic does. He's not quite as fast, but he can bash through stuff with his knuckles, basically. Where he gets the name from. He has very strong knuckles, and he can use those against the enemies, or he can bash through some of the blockades that Sonic can't bash through. And he can also use them to grab ledges, and he can climb. So there are some spots in the game where with Sonic you have to find a way to get up to a certain area. With Knuckles you can just grab the wall and climb up there. And last but not least, he can kind of fly. He can glide, basically. He can glide from one spot to another. He loses a little bit of altitude as he goes across, but so you may be able to get across to some areas that would be harder to get to with Sonic. And so that kind of changes up the way you play some of the levels, maybe, between Sonic and Knuckles. And that's basically it. Like I said, this is its own game. You could think of this as its own game. You know, you don't have to own the other Sonic games, especially 2 and 3, to play Sonic and Knuckles. But as I'm going to show you, there's benefits to owning Sonic and Knuckles and Sonic 2 and 3, and even Sonic 1, which I'll show you as well. Okay, so that's Sonic and Knuckles, and it's its own game, like I said. It's a whole game within itself. Pop it open. Stick on Sonic the Hedgehog. Now, officially Sonic the Hedgehog's not really supported for this thing, but I'll show you what happens. So this is Sonic 1. It's basically telling you here that you can't play Sonic with Sonic and Knuckles. And it will do this with almost any cartridge you put in. Press A, B, and C at the same time, and it lets you play. This is basically the bonus sphere levels from Sonic 1. All together, you can play all the bonus levels, and well, that's really all it is. But it's a little secret. It's kind of neat. Press A, B, and C at the same time when you're at that no way little screen, and there you go. So that's that. It's basically just lets you play all those bonus sphere games. When it tries to tell you that you can't play Sonic 1, Sonic 2 on the other hand. Check this out. So here's Sonic 2 loading up, and this is kind of the main attraction of Sonic and Knuckles, and its lock-on feature. That's what they call it, is their lock-on technology. Put Sonic 2 in, and here you are, playing Sonic 2 with Knuckles. So it's like it goes into the game, and it reprograms a whole new character into the game. You're playing as Knuckles, so now you can do your gliding, and you can use your bashing with your Knuckles. Like I said, he's a little bit slower than Sonic, but he can also climb. So you're playing, Sonic 2 in a whole new way, and that's pretty cool. I don't think, really any console games done that at the time. Alright guys, I'm going to do something I normally wouldn't do. I'm going to pretend to take this out, and I'm going to pretend to put in Sonic 3. I don't actually own Sonic 3, and normally I would not review a game I don't own. I would not show you guys a game I do not own. But in this circumstance, I'm just doing this to show you what it does with Sonic and Knuckles. So, keep that in mind. And last but not least, this is Sonic 3. Really awesome startup screen on Sonic 3, by the way. I gotta get my hands on Sonic 3. Now there you can see that it has the and Knuckles. So it does change the title screen. It adds more save slots, which is really, really strange. I think normally with Sonic 3 you get 6 save slots. And now you have 8. So Sonic and Knuckles is actually adding extra save space to Sonic 3. It adds a couple other features related to that save screen there. I'm not 100% sure what they are. But once again, here we are playing as Knuckles in Sonic 3, which you couldn't do. So once again, you got a whole new character and a whole new way to play Sonic 3. But where Sonic 3 really shines is not just the ability to play as Knuckles in Sonic 3. There's a whole bunch of extra different features. There's some new levels that you'll go through with Sonic 3 and Knuckles. And some of the music's changed up, where it's not the Sonic 3 music, it's the Knuckles music. So that's a little different too. So once again, this is like the coolest thing they've ever done at the time. Like I said, I can't think of any. If there's one, guys, tell me. If there's another game that does this, tell me. But I don't think there's any other games, like cartridge games, that let you do this, So you were buying Sonic and Knuckles, which was like a whole game in its own, like I said. You were buying Sonic and Knuckles, but then you could go back and play, Sonic 2 and Sonic 3 a whole new way with a new character. And, it's like the first kind of mod or patch, kind of thing that you might see in a system now where they have like a hard drive where you can download something. But back then, I think this was like the first thing ever like this.